आपने बहुत बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज में काम किया है, तो अगर मैं कहूँ, इमेजिन कीजिए कि आपको किसी कंपनी का सीईओ रख लिया, ठीक है, एक छोटी कंपनी है, 500,000 करोड़ की कंपनी है, तो उसे हम डबल प्रॉफिट में कैसे ला सकते हैं आपके हिसाब से?
Most of the disaster happen because when we create or we promote somebody as a manager based on the performance, but we don't adequately invest in their development.
और आपको क्या लगता है कि जो CHROs हैं वो ऐसी क्या गलतियां कर देते हैं कि कंपनी की ग्रोथ रुक जाती है?
I've also seen that we will hire a coach, but after some time there will be conflicts between the coach and coachee.
आपको क्या लगता है कि कुछ CHROs जो हैं जिन्हें लगता है कि नहीं, हमें प्रोडक्शन के मामले में दखल नहीं देना चाहिए?
What we have seen over last centuries that the corporate world or industrial world or the world of work
जी,
is primarily dominated by male.
किसी भी कंपनी की ग्रोथ सिर्फ 3 चीजों पे टिकी होती है। कौन सी? सिस्टम, पीपल एंड माइंडसेट। तो अगर आप एक एंटरप्रेन्योर हैं या आप एक मैनेजर हैं या आप अभी अपना करियर शुरू कर रहे हैं, अगर ये तीनों चीजें आप समझ जाएं तो सक्सेस मिलनी ही मिलनी है। सो आज हम बात करेंगे कि हर सेगमेंट में क्या चैलेंजेस आते हैं और किस तरीके से आपने उन चैलेंजेस से डील करना है। आज का पॉडकास्ट सिर्फ मोटिवेशनल नहीं है, आज का पॉडकास्ट बहुत खास है क्योंकि आज हम बात करेंगे कि एक CEO लेवल पर क्या माइंडसेट चाहिए और एक एंट्री लेवल पर और एक मिड मैनेजमेंट लेवल पर क्या माइंडसेट चाहिए और लोगों का चुनाव अपनी टीम में आपको कैसे करना है। किसी को भी अपनी टीम में नहीं रखना, और अगर रख भी लिया है तो उसे ग्रूम कैसे करना है। लोग ज्ञान तो बहुत देते हैं बट कोई ये नहीं बताता कि चलना कैसे है, प्रोसेसेस क्या हैं, एग्जीक्यूशन कैसे करें, क्या नहीं करना और क्या करना है, फेलियर से कैसे डील करें। तो आज हम इन सब चीज़ों पे बात करेंगे और आज के गेस्ट बहुत खास हैं क्योंकि वो इस इंडस्ट्री में बहुत टाइम से हैं। वो सारे ब्रांड्स के साथ काम कर चुके हैं, बिग ब्रांड्स लाइक Amazon, एस्कॉट्स, सुजुकी, LG। आज हम उनसे जानेंगे कि ये बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज के अंदर ऐसे क्या सीक्रेट्स होते हैं जो हम जानकर अपनी कंपनी को 10x ग्रोथ दिला सकते हैं। आइए स्वागत करते हैं मिस्टर अभय कपूर जी का। वेलकम अभय सर। तो सर, आप कहते हैं आप पीपल सेंट्रिक लीडर हैं, तो बताना चाहेंगे कि नॉर्मल लीडर्स में और पीपल सेंट्रिक लीडर्स में क्या डिफरेंस होता है?
So when I look at my career journey of last 30 years and the way I have evolved, becoming from a science graduate to then doing my MBA in human resource management and then shaping my career in HR with different Indian and multinational organizations, what I have seen is that your approach of any business growth or sustainability in the business environment depends on the people first approach.
ओके।
And I have seen organizations, those who keep people first leadership as their guiding principle, they have grown much faster, earned much more respect in the business environment. Of course, when you start a business, you are doing business not for charity but to make sustainable profit and growth in the organization. But at the end of the day, it is the people who drive the business. Any startup, when they start their journey, what kind of team they build, how do they align the team, how do they build their organization by adding people in the system, and how do they create a big picture out of idea. That all evolves around people. So my thought is very clear that if your people remain the focus of your business, you can reach to the any height.
लवली सर। तो सर जब हम टीम की बात करते हैं तो आपने कहा कि पीपल किसी भी कंपनी का कल्चर लोगों से बनता है। तो हम बेस्ट लोग हायर करें या हमारे जो एग्जिस्टिंग एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं हम उनको भी बेस्ट बना सकते हैं? व्हाट इज़ योर स्ट्रैटेजी?
So I remember one of the very good leadership principle which Amazon used to practice:
जी।
hire and develop the best. Okay.
Lovely.
So your focus has to remain on both.
हम्म।
You have to hire the best and then develop the best. So and when we talk about the HR strategy in terms of talent pipeline in any organization, we talk about build or buy.
हम्म।
Okay. For any organization, now it depends upon that at what stage of growth, what stage of expansion you are, what is your requirement, how many people you need, how many you can develop in-house, how many you have to add from outside. Okay. If you have become a stagnant organization, maybe you would be able to develop a lot of people within organization. But if your organization is a very fast growing, you have to build team, then definitely you have to work on both build and buy strategy. But nevertheless, your in-house capability of developing talent has to be there.
Right.
Because a long-term engagement of any employee in an organization comes only when he sees a lot of growth and development, his overall development in the organization, and that only creates a long-term sustainability of any organization where they are able to retain the talent. So development is a very core aspect of any business leadership, where management need to focus on continuous development of the people
राइट।
and create a future pipeline of the leadership.
सो सर जब हम बात करते हैं डेवलपमेंट की तो ये किसकी जिम्मेदारी है डेवलपमेंट की? क्या ये एचआर डिपार्टमेंट की जिम्मेदारी है या ऑपरेशंस की जिम्मेदारी है या ये सीईओ की जिम्मेदारी है?
See, it is a top driven.
ओके।
Okay. But every manager, I firmly believe that every manager is responsible to develop his team member.
ओके।
Okay. Now CEO has to develop his team. People down the line at N-1, N-2 level have to develop their team. But anybody who claims that yes, I am the manager and I'm managing a team, it is not about only managing the team. It is also about developing the team, identifying the high potential employees in the team, and preparing their individual development plans, their growth plans in the organization, their succession planning. And for that, you need to invest a lot on leadership development in the organization. Now, when people grow from executive level to the managerial level, they require a lot of developmental coaching, training to become a efficient manager.
राइट।
So how do we ensure that in the organization our managers are also getting groomed to become the people to focus on the development of the people?
तो आपके
How
हिसाब
our
से क्या?
managers are equipped to focus on the development of people, how they are being trained and coached in the organization, that is also important. So there's a lot of investment which is required on managerial effectiveness, managerial development to create a what we say that to create a future ready organization or to create a learning organization.
सो सर आपके हिसाब से क्या आपको लगता है कि वो क्या स्ट्रैटेजीज होनी चाहिए टू प्रमोट समबडी एट अ मैनेजर लेवल? बिकॉज देखा गया है कि अगर किसी की परफॉर्मेंस अच्छी है तो उसे मैनेजर बना देते हैं, बट ये भी देखा गया है कि वो परफॉर्मर अच्छा है बट जैसे ही वो मैनेजर बनता है वो हैंडल नहीं कर पाता है वो चीज़ें। तो क्या ऐसी 5-6 क्वालिटीज़ देखनी चाहिए टू प्रमोट समबडी टू दैट नेक्स्ट लेवल?
So when we talk about managerial skills or the tenets which are required to become a successful manager. Definitely, when we create a succession planning in the organization, we focus on both performance and potential.
जी.
Now, somebody who has been delivering continuously uh, as per the requirement of the organization and exceeding the goals, he definitely deserves to be the map to the next level. But every individual is not a good team manager. Okay. So from that perspective, his communication, his behavioral skills, his learnability, his adaptability, his focus on the people development, his competencies on the cognitive analysis. There are a lot of things which we usually see when we promote somebody as a manager. But our story doesn't end there. You have just promoted and then he will start delivering as a manager. Then you have to prepare his development plan, how you are going to handhold, who is going to mentor him, coach him to become an effective manager. So from that
Right.
perspective, I think it's not only about giving the reward or recognizing the performance, but it is building an ecosystem in the organization where you identify the top talent, you reward them, you give them the right level, you make them grow in the organization, and simultaneously you also invest in developing their skills and making them successful in the new roles.
Right.
Most of the disaster happen because when we create or we promote somebody as a manager based on the performance, but we don't adequately invest in their development. So then neither person remains a good uh, uh, individual contributor, and nor he becomes a good manager.
राइट. तो सर आपने बहुत बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज में काम किया है. तो अगर मैं कहूँ, इमेजिन कीजिए कि आपको किसी कंपनी का सीईओ रख लिया. ठीक है, एक छोटी कंपनी है, 500,000 करोड़ की कंपनी है, तो उसे हम डबल प्रॉफिट में कैसे ला सकते हैं आपके हिसाब से?
See, three things are important in
जी.
organization: your purpose, profit, and people.
ओके.
Okay. Now, how do you fabric these three things together
जी.
to make the organization grow and sustain? Uh, my first step is that your structure. Your organization structure should be adequate, sufficient, and effective.
जी.
So, how do you build your organization structure? Second is your goals, your KRAs, your vision and mission of the organization.
ठीक है.
How do you align these things in the organization with your top leadership and down the line?
ठीक है.
So, third, your review mechanism, your performance management system, your hiring tenets, how do you develop and evolve them. Then your other key parameters is your review mechanism, your P&L accountability.
तो सर ये रिव्यू मैकेनिज्म जो आपने बताया, क्योंकि देखो सिस्टम तो हर कोई बना लेता है, बट वो एग्जीक्यूट नहीं होता है. और अगर एग्जीक्यूट कर भी रहे हैं तो ऑडिट कैसे होगा? सपोज हम बात करें एचआर डिपार्टमेंट की, तो सीएचआरओ हो गए या एचआर डिपार्टमेंट हो गया या प्रोडक्शन हो गया, ऑडिट कैसे करें, रिव्यू कैसे करें, वो बताइए.
Yeah, so that's what I was talking about. The
जी.
review mechanism is one of the most important part which a CEO or the CXO should drive in the organization to ensure the execution. Now, at what level, what is the adoption level of your policies and strategies across the units, across the functions? That will come to know only when you are doing the review. Now, it could be your monthly business review, it could be your quarterly business review, half-yearly review, annual review, and how you are involving the team members in those reviews, and how are you communicating the message in those reviews, that what is important for the organization and what are the matrices we have to follow, where we have to reach, what are our goals, and where are we, and what are the challenges we have in the market and operations. So I think these are the very critical parameters which a CEO has to drive in the organization to ensure that the entire organization is aligned to the common goal and common vision mission.
राइट। तो सर आपको क्या लगता है कि जो CHROs हैं वो ऐसी क्या गलतियां कर देते हैं कि कंपनी की ग्रोथ रुक जाती है या स्टक हो जाते हैं, स्टेगनेंट जैसे आपने कहा? तो ऐसी 4-5 क्या गलतियां होती हैं जो वो सुधार सकते हैं और सुधारते ही ऑटोमेटिकली कंपनी प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी में आ जाएगी या कल्चर अच्छा बन जाएगा? वो ऐसी क्या गलतियां होती हैं?
See, we cannot generalize it, but few are the common, few of the common mistakes which we have observed. Like if we talk about the managing an organization, today we are living in a highly volatile environment. Running an organization is more about managing the disruptions. Okay, now these disruptions are internal and external both.
I
You,
agree.
whichever product or service line or whichever geography you are operating, today maybe you are doing very good, but you never know that what kind of competition is going to come, what kind of technological changes are going to come, what kind of customer requirement is going to change, and your competition is always global. So from that perspective, how equipped you are to face those disruptions, I think that is something today every CEO has to be agile and has to create a ecosystem in the organization, that how do we manage the disruption, how we are ready to face any kind of a disruption. That is top priority as on today's volatile environment. Then definitely keeping the your data in terms of market, in terms of customer, in terms of product, in terms of profitability, in terms of competition, handy and continuously evolving, being aware about the kind of competition or kind of disruption you may be facing. Then your internal management, which I have talked about, is that how do you create an effective organization which should be ready to meet any kind of challenges. I think that is a focus area for a CEO who should be creating an effective organization. And that is why we have seen today most of the even big organization which were known for a certain industries or certain product lines, they are diversifying.
Yes.
Okay, so diversification is another agenda, that don't keep your business line focused on one product or one service. Diversify into related areas so that you can meet any kind of a business disruption, and you should have some support system within the organization, that if one product line or one business line fails or goes negative, then you should have some
Backup plan.
some support system in the organization.
एब्सोल्युटली, आपने बिल्कुल सही बात कही सर। जैसे हम कहते हैं कि अपनी सारी सेविंग अगर एक ही फंड में डाल दोगे और वो फंड नीचे चला गया, सो यू आर अगेन यू आर बैंकरप्ट। तो बेटर है कि आप अपनी सेविंग्स डिफरेंट फंड्स में डालिए कि अगर एक नीचे गया तो दूसरा सपोर्ट कर सकता है। और देखा गया है सर ये कि पहले HR सिर्फ पीपल ओरिएंटेड था, बट आज की डेट में अगर हम बात करें तो टेबल पे CHRO की जो पोजीशन है दैट इज नेक्स्ट टू CEO। तो आपको क्या लगता है कि कुछ CHROs जो हैं जिन्हें लगता है कि नहीं हमें प्रोडक्शन के मामले में दखल नहीं देना चाहिए, तो आपको लगता है वो सही है या उन्हें एक्चुअली में उनसे बात करनी चाहिए और सेम पेज पे आना चाहिए? एक कंपनी की ग्रोथ के लिए क्या ज़रूरी है?
So CHRO definitely plays a very important role in managing performance in the organization.
जी।
And when you are responsible to drive a performance culture in the organization, you have to get involved in all functions. Okay, now whether it is sales or it is operations or it is logistics or supply chain, if you are not deeply involved in interacting with the people in each function, or if you are not involved in fixing their goals and reviewing their performance across the organization, uh, your role as a uh, what I can say, your role as a support to CEO is very critical.
तो सर जब हम बात करते हैं प्लांट लेवल की, अगर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की बात करें और हम बात करते हैं एक एचआर डिपार्टमेंट की, तो आपको क्या लगता है कि एक एचआर डिपार्टमेंट का प्लांट लेवल पे कितना इन्वॉल्वमेंट होना चाहिए? किस लेवल तक उन्हें एम्प्लॉयज़ के साथ या एम्प्लॉयज़ की परफॉर्मेंस में इन्वॉल्व होना चाहिए?
See, HR works as a enabler of performance and culture in the organization. They have to front end the culture of performance in the organization, but should they be doing it or should they be micromanaging it? That approach won't work successfully.
Okay.
So, how do you enable your managers, your operations, your team leaders in managing the performance in the organization? The main role of HR is to build the system, processes, communication mechanism, so that they should be able to drive the performance in the organization across the levels and across the functions.
राइट। तो जब हम बात करते हैं कि हम एक एम्प्लॉय को हायर करते हैं, एचआर का काम होता है हायर करना, फिर वो ऑपरेशंस में जाकर परफॉर्म करता है। सो अगर वो परफॉर्म नहीं कर रहा है, सो ऐसा एचआर और ऑपरेशंस वाले क्या करें? उनका कोलैबोरेशन कैसे होना चाहिए? क्या 5 टिप्स आप देंगे कि कोई भी एम्प्लॉय जो आ रहा है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, उसकी परफॉर्मेंस एक्चुअली में अच्छी रहे? बिकॉज वो ब्लेम गेम शुरू हो जाता है कि आपने हायर किया, आपने ट्रेन नहीं किया। तो आप ऐसे क्या 5 टिप्स देंगे ताकि ये दोनों डिपार्टमेंट साथ में मिलके एक कंपनी को ऊपर बढ़ा सके?
So usually hiring is not a process which is owned by HR or which is owned by operations. It is a teamwork. Where
राइट।
the hiring manager gives the requirement, then HR talent acquisition team identifies the candidate, carry out the interview and assessment process. Okay, then HODs are involved in finalizing the candidate, and I think in that entire process, your recruitment system has to be so robust that it should eliminate most of the post-hiring performance-related issues in the hiring stage itself. But I'm not saying that we will solve the 100% problem. Maybe it will help you solving the 80% of the problem. Another 20% is still you will identify that once the person has joined, there are certain gaps in the position requirement and the actual performance of the candidate. So, how is your onboarding process and post onboarding process? So, your buddy programs, your mentorship programs for the initial 3 to 6 months for any new joinee, that helps in settling down in the organization, and that also helps in ensuring the performance expectation from any new hire in the organization.
मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहती हूँ सर कि फेलियर को डील करने के लिए आप क्या एडवाइस करेंगे सारे यंगस्टर्स को या ऑल मैनेजर्स जो भी है? मतलब क्योंकि फेलियर एज देख के नहीं आता है, फेलियर किसी भी एज में आ सकता है। तो कुछ 4-5 टिप्स दीजिए कि फेलियर से कैसे डील करें?
I personally believe your maximum learnings comes from your failures
वाओ!
or the odd things which happen in your life. So, whenever you hit the wall, the first thing is that you have to keep patience. You have to be resilient. You need to calm down, understand the situation, give enough time to understand the situation, what kind of failures have happened, rather than more analyzing about the failures, why it happened, focus on that what you want to achieve, how you want to grow to the next level. Identify your mentors and well-wishers. Maybe you can take their guidance.
तो सर आपको क्या लगता है कि कौन सी ऐसी ट्रेनिंग्स होनी चाहिए हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जिससे कि ग्रोथ 100% श्योर है?
So if we talk about training or developmental growth of an individual in the organization, now one, it depends upon the industry, in which industry you are operating.
जी.
And based on the industry, there are certain basic trainings which are very relevant to the industry, and one has to go through that. Apart from that, whenever we hire a person and he goes through the assessment, performance assessment, after a year or 6 months, whenever it happens, we must identify, or we should have a process in which we identify the training requirement and the gap areas by self, by manager, and by skip level. At least 3 levels we should cover, so that person should know that to survive and to grow in this organization, what are the basic training requirements that person has. Now that could be behavioral,
जी.
that could be functional,
जी.
that could be industry. Okay. So then we call it talent management. Now, as a part of talent management, we create a individual development plan
जी.
for every individual, and we identify those trainings and how are we going to help the individual in identifying the gaps and filling those gaps, whether through the internal training programs or suggesting him a coach and mentor, or identifying few books which he can go through the self, or some. Today to now it is the era of micro learning,
Yeah.
so lot of and AI and chatbots and so many options are available for anybody who want to learn and grow. He has so much of available resources that equip himself. And at a leadership level, it is slightly different, wherein you have to run the assessment centers. You identified the key critical traits required to grow in the organization, what kind of challenges organization is facing, and what are the gap areas required to fill in the leadership pipeline. And you have to create customized programs for them. Apart from that, sponsoring them for higher education, sponsoring them for management development programs, and the another most important aspect which I feel that today, which is helping organizations, is like identifying the coaches and mentors for the leadership.
तो सर कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करें अगर किसी कंपनी को एक अच्छा मेंटोर या कोच चाहिए तो क्या क्या क्राइटेरिया होने चाहिए आपके हिसाब से?
Everyone goes through ups and downs in their career. Now, whatever profile you are handling in the organization, you can definitely make it better. You can definitely deliver better if you have a right guidance at the right time from the right people.
जी.
So, a coach always helps and approachable whenever you need any kind of guidance or support to deal with a particular matter or particular ambiguity. So,
तो किसी को अगर एक अच्छा कोच,
we can have internal coach. We can identify few people who can be given the coaching certification support, and they can work as an internal coach. But surely for the leadership level, we may have an external coach who can be assigned to few leaders, and he can help them in making to the next level.
राइट. तो सर मान लीजिए आपकी एक कंपनी है और आप उस कंपनी के CEO हैं, तो आप अपने एम्प्लॉयज़ के लिए, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट हायर मैनेजमेंट, आप अपने हायर मैनेजमेंट के लिए एक लीडरशिप कोच कैसे चुनेंगे? उस लीडरशिप कोच में क्या होना चाहिए कि आप उसे चुनें कि आप आइए और हमारे लीडर्स को ट्रेनिंग दीजिए टू मेक देम बेटर?
So, professional coaching support required by the leaders depends upon that what functions they are handling, what kind of issues they are facing, what are the identified gap areas in their competency and their behavioral uh, competencies. And based on that, we can identify the coach who are available and who can align with our organizational goal and vision in investing in the leadership, in uh, bridging the gap or fixing the uh, issues which wherein the leadership can be developed for the next level.
तो सर अगर आप एक सीईओ होते किसी कंपनी के और आपको अपनी टॉप लेवल की एम्प्लॉयज़ जो हैं उनको कोचिंग देनी होती, तो आप कोच कैसे चुनते? लीडरशिप कोच कैसे चुनते? क्या क्वालिटीज़ देखते आप उस लीडरशिप कोच में?
So, a coach is a person who has reached to a level of competency where he can guide and support others. Okay. So, if I talk about identifying a coach for my top leadership, CXO level and N-1, N-2 levels, uh, uh, I look for the coach who has a authority in the area, who has authority in the industry, and who has delivered exceptionally well in his professional career, and who can who has also gone through some kind of professional training or professional certification in coaching, and who has the authority in that area where he can influence others, who can guide others, and who can create a difference by his coaching and guidance. Apart from that, we definitely look for a coach looking at our culture of industry, in what is my organization culture, and whether the coach will be able to guide in terms of the culture in our organization, and should have some kind of a similar leadership thoughts in aligning with the top leadership. Because at times I have also seen that we will hire a coach, but after some time there will be conflicts between the coach and coachee. Okay, then it becomes another area where we have to sort it out. Every coaching doesn't result into a successful outcome. So
I agree,
that is why
sir.
we have to be very careful while we identify a coach, and coaches should be mentally aligned and ready to accept the coach.
दैट इज़ वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट कि आप कोच तो ले आओ बट कोच ही रेडी ही नहीं है कुछ सीखने के लिए तो वो नहीं सीखेगा। और आपने बहुत ही खूबसूरत बात की कि आप एक हाई एंड कोच ले आओ बट आपके जो लोग हैं उन्हें देसी चीज़ें समझ आती हैं, उन्हें समझ आता है जो उनका भाव समझे, और ये हाई एंड कोच अपनी लर्निंग उनके ऊपर थोप देंगे और प्रोडक्टिविटी आएगी ही नहीं,
It
बिकॉज
will
वो
not
कनेक्ट ही
result
नहीं
into
होंगे,
an outcome.
वो कनेक्ट ही नहीं होंगे और आउटकम ही नहीं आएगा। तो बहुत ज़रूरी है कि कोच का आपके एम्प्लॉयज़ के साथ कनेक्ट होना, वो भाव होना और मेंटल लेवल समझना। बहुत मज़ा आया सर आपके साथ बात करके, एंड थैंक यू सो मच। आपने जो अपनी विजडम से इतने सारे टिप्स हमें दिए, आई एम श्योर चाहे वो HR हो, चाहे वो CXO हो, चाहे वो CEOs भी हों, आई थिंक आपकी लर्निंग जो है जो आपने शेयर करी वो सबके लिए बहुत ही पावरफुल होंगी। सो थैंक
you
यू
very
सो
much.
मच सर।
Thank you.